Hi everyone, Sponge here. Welcome to the second episode of the Raw English mini-series. In this episode, we're going to talk about 3 rules of liaisons to sound more like a native. You should at least know what vowels and consonants are, even if you can't pronounce them correctly. If you find this episode hard for you, check out the first episode and make sure you have a basic understanding of pronunciation before continuing. After learning phonetic alphabets and knowing vowels, consonants, liaisons are really about how they combine. An independent vowel or consonant, a consonant before a consonant before a vowel before a vowel, and so forth. Now, let's begin. Rule number 1. When a consonant is before a vowel, we connect them as a syllable. This basically works the same as Chinese initial consonants and the compound vowels. For example, we have an initial h and a compound vowel then we get a syllable h. Let's look at abacus. We have consonants b and k and vowels a and a. When a consonant is before a vowel, they form a syllable like b or k. Independent vowels and consonants are pronounced as they are, like the a in the beginning and the s at the end. Abacus, just like in Chinese. Let's see another case, accompanying. First, let's find out the vowels. There are 4 of them. Next, let's see if each of them has a consonant before it that they can form syllables. No, only 3 of them have, and that's we have 3 syllables, ka, p, ni. What about a at the beginning and after ka? We just pronounce them as they are. So, accompany. That's how syllables work for a single word. When we speak a phrase like give it away, the syllables look like this or work like this, like a long word where independent vowels and consonants form new syllables. That's creating new sounds. Give it away. Give it away. Again, this is extremely simple, but on the premise that you've mastered the phonetic alphabet. And if not, you may sound like them.
这个念什么？
斯和敖狗。
念啥？
斯和敖狗。
So basics are really, really important. Rule number 2. When a consonant is before a consonant, we connect them in certain scenarios. What are certain scenarios, you may ask? And here they are. There are 3 general locations to generate consonants. The lips, like the p or b, behind the teeth, like the t and d, or in the throat, like k or g. And if a word ends with a sound created in the throat, and the next word starts with a sound from the same general location, and these words are going to be linked together. The same with other 2 locations. For example, good to know. In this example, you can see that because the ending d of good and the beginning t of to are so near each other in the mouth, it is not worthy therefore to start the sound all over again, so they just flow into each other. Then we got good to know. Good to know. But as you can tell, there are multiple combinations in the table, perhaps too many to remember. And if that's the case for you, save yourself some time by just remembering these 3 pairs. P, B, T, D, K, G. They are easy to learn and most common. Rule number 3, when the letter or sound of T, D, S, or Z is followed by a word that starts with Y or its sound, we connect them and change the sound as a whole. T plus Y becomes ch, as in teach or peach. For example, I will let you know. Wouldn't you? And D plus Y becomes ch, as in orange or George. For example, did you see it? Or would you like it? S plus Y becomes Sue, as in suit or pursue. For example, I miss you, or he wants to kiss you. Z plus Y becomes Z, as in decision. For example, where's your father? Or how was your trip? And last but not least, you shouldn't use liaisons whenever possible. It's essential that liaisons are word connections to pronounce a sense group more naturally. So, when the words are not in the same sense group or not closely linked in any way, or just speaking too slowly, connecting them will sound weird and unnatural.
That is a very serious accusation, Potter.
Indeed. Your evidence?
I just know.
You just no.
In this case, Professor Snape is speaking very slowly, so the t sound in just is still there. Again, without the proper pronunciation of phonetic alphabets, all efforts in practicing liaisons will be down the drain.
思和袄狗
So don't forget this point. Okay, that's the 3 rules. And now you may ask if there are any other rules or tips or special cases for liaisons. Yes, there are, but we're not able to cover them all in such a short clip, just like you don't study all grammar rules back in high school. Likewise, those 3 rules are the most fundamental, easy to learn, and they comfortably cover over 90% of cases you will see. You could build on it as you move on. But we're not done here. There's a bonus tip. We mentioned sense group a lot, and it can change as you like. And this bonus tip is a fundamental practice that could help you better identify or segment the sense groups in a sentence, which benefits your reading comprehension and lays a foundation for sight interpretation. It's called reading. Oh, reading, what's so special about that? And here's how it works. When we learn English from the ground up, we start from the simplest sentence structure, such as subject plus verb plus object. And where do long sentences come from? Short ones. And what are they glued with? Conjunctions, prepositions, and complementizers. So while you're reading, whenever you see one of them, pause around it because you are most likely to see a sentence group there. Let's see an example from Tom Hiddleston.
Let me put it this way, by Simon Armitage. Let me put it this way. If you came to lay your sleeping head against my arm or sleeve, and if my arm went dead, or if I had to take my leave at midnight, I should rather cleave it from the joint or seam than make a scene or bring you round. There. How does that sound?
Alrighty, so much for the 3 rules and a bonus tip. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment. I will see you next video. Hi there, if you find this video helpful and want to see more of these, please subscribe and do the you know what. If you don't, subscribe anyway, it's free, who cares.